Morning, Nicole.
Good morning.
Hey, yesterday we said just laugh and just stop for a second and people will tune in. my camera's not working right now. Hold on a second
no.
here. So I'm going to we're gonna so listen, I can use this camera. Dude, I got an apology this morning. I got a big one. And I think it's gonna humble you too, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook the audience coming up later. So, few things. Obviously, this morning we have Liz Wilcox, email marketing queen. Like, you told me some stuff about her as a business person. She's like exceptionally brilliant human being running an exceptionally brilliant email marketing business.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also on Survivor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been really fun watching her too. Like,
I bet the current season of Survivor too.
Yeah, she's still on. I don't know how much I can or we should say. I don't know.
No,
she made it a big milestone, so that's amazing.
Oh, she did, eh?
Mm-hmm. To the merge, which I haven't watched Survivor since I was in college, so 20 plus years. So I don't really remember the rules, but it's been really fun watching.
Yeah. I got to admit, I have not watched the show forever either, to be frank with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I've watched that show. It's a blast from the past, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
A little bit of nostalgia. Do you remember when that show came? So, as you know, I was just born a couple years ago. Well, yeah.
You're a young buck.
I'm a young buck, Nicole Bernard. Do you remember when the show came out? Because I do.
I do. I was either like in high school or early college. So I'm really not that far behind you.
I know you're not that far. But we like to throw the water over here on me and we'll just splash it back to you every now and then. But it was a pivotal moment in television history, frankly. Now I'm really going to date myself, but it's true. It was a pivotal moment. It was this, I remember the headlines in the news, and because it was back in the day when it was like macro cultural society, or you had 4 channels, you had a few newspapers, and we all talked about the same things.
Yeah, totally.
Right. And it was this, I remember the moment watching newscasts and people talking, and I'm sure Business Athlete Nation remembers this too, which was, they're doing what? They're taking 13 people or 16 people at the time, and they're dropping them off on an island, and then they're going to make them quote unquote survive for so many days, and then they're going to film it. Yeah. And I remember when that happened, it was this whole idea of, so that is reality. That's reality television.
Yeah, I know. It was probably one of the first ones, right? Like the first reality TV. Okay,
it absolutely was. Yes, it was. Like I said, it was certainly a pivotal time in television where it was like, okay, let's introduce the world to reality TV and go from there, right? So
yeah,
that was interesting to me. Also coming up on the show, I want to tease tomorrow's show. We have Trisha Edwards join us tomorrow.
I saw that. It's exciting.
Trisha's awesome. Trisha joined me a few weeks back. We did a show together. She body-led therapy. She's a creative, smart human being. We sat back, Nicole, and had just the most articulate, interesting human conversation. I invite anybody to check it out. She'll join us tomorrow, so we'll talk more about it tomorrow. I want to get into the accountability check-in this morning. This idea of self-care isn't selfish; it's essential, right? It's not one of those things that I know that you're a big proponent on that. Which self-care is not a selfish thing; it's certainly essential. If we have some time, I'm going to shine the light on a creator this morning that I highlighted. Although, like I said, I think that the apology that I want to make, the humbling that I had this morning.
Okay.
Might take some precedence. And I'm going to tell you, I suspect, I've gotten to know you over the last little while here, and I suspect you're going to kind of look at this the same way I did, and you're going to go, really? And you're going to have a dull moment, and you're going to kind of maybe feel a little humbled by it as well. So we're going to come up with that in a few moments. And if we do have time, we will do a creator spotlight. I did knock on somebody's door. But they were kind of tied up, so we'll see. And then, of course, we got Liz Wilcox coming up here today. And then I want to tease, Nicole, my show coming up at lunchtime today, live in the lab. I got Mark Boer, a man of diverse talents, experiences. He's a former infantryman. He's a former intelligence expert. He's a licensed attorney. He's trained Department of He's trained Department of Defense, Department of Justice, Fortune 500, 60 police units. The guy has been around the world doing some extremely interesting things. He's a contributor to Counter Terrorist magazine. He's the host behind the Pearl Snap Tactical podcast. The guy Nicole, he sounds like an interesting fellow to me.
Yeah, he gets stuff done. That's amazing.
Do you think? So, Mark, what have you done today? Just trained a few guys to stop a few terrorists.
Yeah.
Drove on down to the Department of Department. I'm just, dad jokes everywhere this morning, Nicole. The Department of Defense. Yeah. I need a fart button for that, right?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun.
Hey, my Tesla has a fart button.
Oh, that's cool. I have heard that in Teslas.
Is it really though? Is it really cool?
I know, it's kind of like, why did somebody think to put that in there? But whatever. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Like shuttlecock,
Oh man, the show's gone downhill already. So I took Carter for his license a couple weeks back, remember? And he took the Tesla. So we got out of the car to go into the license place, and Dad's just the best dad ever, right? So Dad's like, oh yeah, and he's walking around the car with with the instructor. So you know what I had to do?
Yeah, I think I figure what you're doing.
I just had to press the fart button on the car, so Carter's face looking at me like, what are you doing, Dad? I'm like, yeah, and I'm in the car like a little kid, just laughing away. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I got some good sleep last night. You know what? I was prepared for today more than usual. So oh man, this show's just fucking gone off the rails already. Jesus.
This is you on 8 hours of sleep?
Is that what it is? No, it wasn't even 8 hours. It was maybe just 6, but.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so anyways, coming up this later today, we got Mark Boer. He is a tactical technician who joins me live in the lab this morning. I'm sorry, at noon. Yesterday, oh my goodness. I had a smart dude, man, on my show. Sam Oblitz. He starts this. So Harvard guy. So first of all, meets a buddy. Corp they become really great friends. They go to Harvard together, go to school. We had a big discussion about Harvard and education. That's good, actually. I was like, hey,
yeah, because
I know. I'm like, yeah, do I send my kid to school? He's like, well.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
There's the hook. Tune into the last 15 minutes of that with Ben there. We when we were speaking, Sam, I'm sorry, not Ben, Sam. So Sam's the founder and his partner Tap, this product called Claim. They have taken it's hard. Listen, I made a clip. So if we have some time, I'm going to run the clip. He does a wonderful job explaining it. I got all excited. You know how I sometimes get excited with my guests. So I got all excited about the whole thing. So that was a fun moment that we had with Sam yesterday's show. So let's do that. Let's do this. Let me take a quick break for a minute, Nation. I want to get my camera thing. It was working before the show. And then I started laughing, pronouncing my F's instead of P's. So let's take a quick break. I'm going to try to fix my camera. You go get your coffee. I know we're just 11 minutes into our show. We'll come back. I want to do the accountability check-in, talk about self-care and just that whole idea, because, people are getting up, getting their day started. We're just going to give you a little reminder that take care of yourself first. And then let's come back. We'll tease Liz coming up, and then I want to maybe get to my humbling confession that I had this morning.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, works for me.
Awesome. Okay, Nation, I'm going to put this on a quick little break here, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to get my camera sorted out so I can get that sorted out. We'll be right back, you guys. All right. Hey, I got my camera back.
Ooh,
I feel a little better about that. Yeah. So I'm sure. So are you a person, Nicole, who, hey, coming up this morning, guys, we have Liz Wilcox, email marketing queen, email marketing expert, she's also a current survivor participant on the show. She's coming up in a few moments. I got a humbling confession I'm going to make here in a few moments with Nicole. I suspect it's going to humble her as well, and it's probably going to humble a lot of you hearing this morning as well. But Nicole, are you somebody who needs to have like their desk all like perfect and organized, and like your space organized so that she's looking around right now, those that are listening, before you can function? Or do you like function like disorganized? Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, my desk is not organized. It's definitely on my to-do list, but I can function in chaos. Yes.
You can. Yeah. Has that always been like an attribute of yours, or do you stress when you're operating in chaos?
No, I'm the baby of 5. So I think just, yes. Not that my house is chaotic, but kind of, yeah, it's never bothered me. Like I pretty easy can like zone things out. So
that's interesting how that works, right? Where you're the baby of 5. So I'm going to suspect in many ways, and I'm curious if Nation's listening right now, everything's kind of done for you. You can kind of maybe be a little passive around everything because there's always people just doing stuff ahead of you, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely that. And then also, again, I think at the point too, because like my siblings are quite a bit older than me, they came in pairs, and then it's like, hi, like 7 years later. I was also like, whatever, you're the last one, go do whatever you want kind of thing. Yeah. So kind of a combination of, yes, I was definitely like that little sister that everybody did a lot of stuff for. Sorry, siblings, if you're listening, but
There you go. Yeah, I like to be organized. I stress if I'm not that organized. I need to have my space organized. It allows me to be, I think, creative, probably, right? Just that whole attitude of just being creative and expressing myself. Right? So,
yeah, totally.
Let's jump into our accountability check-in. So this is good. So I'm trying to time this out. So right about now, our accountability post is posting up on LinkedIn. I schedule them in advance. And today, Nicole, I talk about, are you making these excuses? So I'm going to suspect. So Jeff, if you're tuning in this morning, my buddy Jeff handles my money. He's my financial advisor. He's a friend. He's been taking care of me for a number of years. And he's like, hey, I'm like, Jeff, I do this morning show. He's like, well, let me tune in. I'm like, oh, here it is. So Jeff, Good morning, my friend. And I throw this out there because Jeff and I always laugh and talk about these topics of, are you making these excuses or reasons to ignore your health?
Mm-hmm.
Are you too busy? Is work first? Is the gym too expensive? Those concepts, right?
Yeah.
And I know you feel the same way I do about this, but I just want to remind Nation and remind everyone that I think it's really as simple as this, right? If you don't prioritize your well-being, like everything is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
And I'm going to suspect you are an example of that. I will look in the camera and tell Nation, I am actually absolutely an example of that right now. I would not be able to pull the hours that I'm pulling right now, building this business, putting the hours in, putting the effort in, if I didn't take time every morning to just pause and ensure that I take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I have the energy once I do this.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Well, and it's like such that cliche saying of like, you can't pour from an empty cup, but it's true. Like it really is. Because it just affects everything. Like if you feel like crap and you're not taking care of yourself, it spills out into like every part of your life, personal, business, all of it.
Yes. And it's going to end in burnout. I've had 100%. Or something worse. Exactly. I've had some chats with some friends lately that have gone through some journeys in the last couple of years, and the word burnout has come up. And you listen, and I listen, and encouraged to go for a walk, or encouraged just to go for a lift, or encouraged to do some stretches. And these two individuals went down some paths, and it was like, okay, now it's time to take care of myself. So, and then the conversations now turn to, oh man, Keith, I feel so much better now that I'm taking care of myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Clear thinking, better decision making, rest. I knew today was a big show, and we had a big discussion coming up. I wanted to be on point today, so I worked my ass off yesterday to get everything organized. Jimmy, who's tuning in today, who's on the BAPL team, who's a massive help. Riri, Celine, they jumped up and said, okay, let's make sure this is done, this is done, so that we can put on a good ass show today. So, I say to everybody, within Nation and within, my own house, got to take care of yourself first, or you can't take care of anybody else.
Yeah, totally. And and like you said too, like it could be something as simple as going for a walk, or getting outside, or taking like 15 minutes. Like it does. I think we get stuck too, like worrying about like we have to plan it all out, and maybe I'm not doing enough, or if I should blah blah blah. Just start one little thing, and you'll just start to feel better the more you do it.
Yes. My sister-in-law bought one of those desk treadmills, like those walking pads.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it's changed her life, because she's like, I'm kind of sitting around, and if I can just get up and go for a 10-minute walk or a 15-minute walk, or just like kind of without having to go very far, she's like, it's right. What she's liked about it, Nicole, is the accumulative effect. 10 minutes one day, 15 minutes the next day, 5 minutes the other, right?
Yeah.
I think we're all too caught up with barriers, right? Oh, I don't want to go to it's just so much effort to go to the gym, or
right. We talk ourselves out of it like that. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do that later.
We do, yeah. Are you somebody who also gets your stuff ready in the morning? Like, do you get yourself all ready the night before so that you're like, I know Lauren's like, she has her clothes all laid out. She has everything ready to go. So when she literally can get up in the morning, she's like, duk, 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 and off she goes. Are you the same way, or you get up and get nowhere? No, you're the baby of everybody. Everybody else did it for you.
Yeah. Well, like the certain things, like if we're going on a trip, or if I have a race, like, yes, I will get, I will be that very like together organized person. But for the most part, no, I'm not like that.
That's awesome. Okay, so there's your accountability tip this morning, everybody. Self-care is not a selfish thing. Self-care is essential. So I remind you with that. Mm-hmm. All right, so I think, Nicole, I'm working diligently this morning. I'm going to be frank with you. I'm working diligently this morning on managing the time, managing the segments, managing the pauses, so that we can, as we're talking this morning, we can create some post-show content. Because now, this is great, because Nation, if you're paying attention, and I know Nicole is, we're seeing content come to life. So we're going to talk about something, and then we're going to chop it up quickly, and then it's going to become a piece that's going to circulate amongst the LinkedIn Nation here coming up in a few moments or later today. But Nicole, I was humbled this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was humbled. I was embarrassed. I went and looked in the mirror. And I went and looked at it again. And then I said to myself, I need to talk about this with Business Athlete Nation this morning and with Nicole.
Okay.
And it was brought up by somebody who I follow on LinkedIn and who's in a community that I'm a part of. And it led with this. The hook was this. I used to mock AI comments. So now we both know AI generated comments and AI generated content is everywhere. It is proliferating the internet's text is being generated by AI generated stuff everywhere. And I'm not going to say guilty. We use it as well. We create content using ChatGPT and large language models. Our goal is to get really good at it. So it's difficult for, humans to differentiate whether it's human generated or AI generated.
Right.
But Nat says, I used to mock AI comments. And then he says, when I knew an AI comment appeared on my post, I would reply with, thanks AI, thanks AI, Nicole. Or he says, until one day that totally changed. And here's what got me. Here's the hook. Someone sent me a DM that opened my eyes. So if you're listening right now, everybody, and you're thinking, hey, I got this AI DM or I got this AI text, you're thinking, come on, put some effort into this human being. Stop sending me the AI stuff. Remember, Nat, this person may not speak English very well.
I get it.
They may not have time. But one thing they're doing for you, Nat, is they're supporting you. Be kind. Oh man, Nicole, I read that. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I read that and I saw your face because you had the same revelation I did, right? I read that and I was like, oh my goodness. Because I've had the wrong point of view. I've been, stop, get that AI generated shit. Come on, become a human, put some effort into it. And then I realized that I was being insensitive, as Nat said. So insensitive. For somebody who preaches kindness, I was not. And I did not feel very good about that. My thought processes have been arrogant and rude. And frankly, I'm going to agree with Nat. I was being incredibly ignorant.
Yeah. I honestly didn't think of it either. So I was right there with you. But yeah, and I guess, they are putting an effort. I mean, they're taking the time to find somewhere to comment. They're generating a comment. And like you said, maybe they're doing it in the way that they can. So that makes total sense.
Well, and let me continue with Nat's comments, his post, because this is just brilliant. And it sometimes, how sometimes you just need to have somebody put something in front of your face where you're like, oh. Yeah. So he goes on to say, am I the biggest fan of AI comments? Not at the moment. And I'm not either, Nicole. And I'm sure you're not, and most people aren't.
Right.
I don't use them. I'll say I don't use them. I have no plans to right now.
I don't even know how to use them. Honestly.
It's true. Everybody, Nicole does not know how to use them. She's from the farm. She's the sixth of 5 kids, or maybe the 600th. We're not sure, but we know.
I send a pigeon when I need them.
I got some mail last night. Hey, Calvin Sorelli, by the way. Calvin Sorelli, thanks for sending me the package. I'll get to you a little later. So am I the big... Man, I get excited. I'm an excited guy. Am I the biggest fan of AI comments? Not at the moment. I don't use them because you can usually tell, Nicole, that they're not human. But let's be realistic. They're not going to last. They're only going to get better. Right? And the facts are extremely clear, especially as you and I are building our business on LinkedIn, especially as we're helping people, grow their businesses on LinkedIn. If someone's commenting, whether it's AI or not, damn it, Nicole, they're making the effort.
Right. Yeah.
They've stopped their day and they're saying, hey, Nicole, hey, Nat, hey, Keith, I'm picking you above anybody else. And I'm going to take whether it's a minute, 30 seconds, a minute and a half, and I'm going to comment, even if it's an AI generated, and I'm going to comment. And they could be doing anything in that moment in time, and they're saying, "No, I'm pausing to give Nicole a minute of my day."
Yep.
That's generous. That's really generous.
It is.
right? So I think, and I'll wrap this point up. I think that demands respect and appreciation. So for all of you using AI to comment on my content, Nicole, I'll speak on behalf of Nicole's content, any of our Business Athlete Performance Lab content, I want to say thank you. Because I know, and Nicole knows, I'll speak on behalf of Nicole. You could have actually been doing anything else. You could be going and commenting on you can comment on Nat's post, or you can come and comment on ours, or you can comment on everybody's. But the fact of the matter is, you're pausing your day and you're saying, no, I want to go and comment and interact with that human being. And whether you're using AI, human, or a little bit of both, I am full of vitamin G for that. So thank you. Always grateful for that. Awesome. All right, so listen, let's take another quick break. Spectacular. End the segment. We'll come back, and then why don't I run, it's about an 8-minute clip of my conversation yesterday with Sam Oblitz. And then when that's done, I suspect Liz is going to be knocking on the door. We'll bring Liz in. We'll talk email marketing, talk Survivor, and then the show's going to wrap up. So we're cruising through here this morning. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds great. I should have told you should have gotten some like NSYNC music as her intro. She's a very big NSYNC fan, but that would have been helpful information yesterday.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe we can quickly do that right now on the break. I can operate pretty fast. So we go to YouTube, pick up the old, but let's do this. So let's just, here's what I'm going to do for the break. Here's what I'm going to do, Nation. Old Uncle Keith here is going to entertain Nation for the break because I'm going to use our time effectively. I am going to run I found this yesterday, Nation and Nicole. I found this right here. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'll figure that out here. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip us to a clip on Liz Wilcox. We're going to meet Liz. So let's step away for a minute. Nicole and I'll come back. We're going to talk Sam Oblitz, and then we're going to welcome Liz into the lab. So go refresh your coffees, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Come back. We've got an awesome second half of the show coming right up.
Just talk about you and
my favorite subject.
Yeah,
Great. Yeah, I was really bullied as a kid, and I was mute and depressed. And my mom, she said, Liz, the more you try to be like everyone else, the sicker you get. I just realized these kids don't like me anyway. I might as well just lean into Liz. To just be my honest full self, that's what's done me well. I've created 3 businesses, and I currently own my own personal brand. I have a full belief and love in myself. I started watching it with my daughter, and Jeff comes on and he's like, "Wanna apply?" And I said, gosh, I really think I could do well on that show. And my little 7-year-old daughter was like, are you going to talk about it, or are you going to do it? Hopefully I'm inspiring my daughter. You've got an idea, just go for it.
So there we have it. Coming up here in a few moments, we have Liz Wilcox. Hey, how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I had Liz on Bubbles and Biz in the beginning, so probably like 4 years ago.
Okay.
We were just connected. We have another mutual friend who actually has like a PR company. I think that she introduced Liz and I, and we've just stayed in touch ever since and just been following her. And I think I'm in her email marketing group. So if anybody needs email marketing help, she's got this huge free group on Facebook that she's awesome and gives a lot of her time to it. So yeah, she's just an amazing human, and we've kept in touch ever since she was on the podcast.
That's exceptional. Let me take a few seconds to introduce her. So Liz's journey. No, let's do this. Let's say I'm going to do a better job of keeping ourselves organized. So we'll talk more Liz here in a number of minutes. She's going to join us here in probably about 12 minutes or so, Nation. So if you're getting your coffee, if you're wondering what's happening with Liz, she's coming up here in a few moments. I want to run a clip of my conversation that I had yesterday with Sam Oblitz. Sam joined the show. There's a little bit of audio issues along the way with Sam. He's up in the mountains of Idaho, so I ask for patience. Bear with it. It's just for little clips, but it's not that bad, frankly. But I invite you to check it out. Listen in. Sam's explaining what claim is. It is spectacular. If you're a marketer, you need to listen to what Sam is saying about claim.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's go down the hole here. Okay, so I'm a potential customer of Claim. Let's do some role playing here, my friend. Yeah. Audience is tuning in, going, okay, I want to check this claim.co out. So how is Sam going to pitch me? I'm a human. I'm a consumer. Tell me the value, how I go through your process. Walk me through this, Sam.
Yeah, so we call Claim benefits with friends, and it's our not so subtle take on friends with benefits. But if you're a consumer, Keith, put yourself in the mindset of a 18 to 22-year-old, because and we talk Gen Z. Claim is a Gen Z focused app. You're on college campus. Let's say that you're at UT Austin, which is where Claim is big. Okay. You hear about Claim from a friend or from maybe your Greek life, your sorority or your fraternity. And your buddy says, hey, Keith, you should get on this app. It allows you to go grab free food at new places around campus. You do it together with friends, and it's a lot of fun. And that's as simple as it is. And what you do as Keith then is you download this app. Sam there.
Get on this app, he says, and he's telling us that on the U of T campus, there he is. So you were saying, Sam, on the U of T campus, the app is hot. So keep going from that sentence there.
Yeah, and clearly my fiber here in Idaho is not up to snuff, so apologies for that. But you got me now, okay. Keith?
100%. Keep going, pal.
Let's go. Okay, so you're on UT Austin. You hear about it from a friend, and it could be your buddy in class. It could be your sorority sister, your fraternity brother, and they say, hey, go download this app. It's going to give you cash back to go try new places around campus, and you do it with your friends. And it's that sort of simple language that really allows Claim to grow quickly on a college campus. Then what we do is we take the best of timed internet. I don't know if Keith, if you remember HQ Trivia or Be Real or T-Mobile Tuesdays, the idea that 100%. You can have these moments exactly where you bring everyone onto the platform at the same time. And for us, that's Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern is the drop. And the drop happens, everyone gets a text. You all have this communal experience of unwrapping your claim, your card for the week. And it pops out of the wrapper and wiggles and is fun and is weird. And that card represents a place that you haven't been before. So it could be Sweet Green, which is one of our partners, which is a national excellent salad place. I don't know if you've been, Keith, but it could be Sweet Green. It could be an e-commerce company that, you know, sneakers, a tea, whatever. But you have this experience where you unwrap this thing and then you compare with your friends on what you got, and then you go together. And to us, it's a direct shot at trying to make the internet more social and more fun by blending the physical and the digital worlds. And so what we hear all the time is, oh shit, you got this, I got this, let's go together. Like, we've never been there before, let's go together. And what that does is it creates social experiences around the brand or around the restaurant or whatever those people are going to try together. And that gets people thinking psychologically that, wow, I just had a real human connection with someone. We went and tried something for the first time. That's a big win. It also happens to be a big win for Claim. And so that's the flow that people experience.
I'm getting a little antsy in the chair because I'm excited. So just allow me to be excited for a second. I love what you're doing because I grew up with macro culture. I grew up with Thursday night friends. I grew up with Friday morning where 60 million North Americans watched the show and we all talked about it. Yeah. And then Netflix happened, and that's okay. Technology happened. Netflix happened, which is okay. Let's binge watch everything. So I see you nodding your head. I had to cut in, Nation, because Nicole's watching and so am I. And is this not timely because what's happening here in a few moments with Liz Wilcox, right? Like, you see what they're doing? They're creating these macro moments. And you as a marketer, I can see you nodding and you see a smile on your face going, oh, I see, because every Thursday he's creating a moment with his audience. And then that moment with the audience continues till the next Thursday.
Right. No, that's huge. Well, and the Thursday friends caught me off guard because it's like that was my whole college career. Like we lived for Thursdays, you know?
I know. So
yeah.
I saw you. So I was watching you smile there, and because so was I. Because as you saw me watching him talk, I'm thinking, oh my goodness! Like I feel like I'm watching a replay of Friends for a generation that didn't grow up with friends like you and I did, right?
Right. Yeah, totally. And I love that because those are such like core memories. Or even Friday too. I don't know. I might have been a little, since I'm a little younger than you. We had TJI Fridays, so
Yes,
it was like,
same
yeah,
thing.
Boy Meets World. Like you looked forward to Fridays because it was such a big deal, and like it's hard to capture those moments now with this next generation, and he's doing it. That's awesome.
It is. Let's continue listening to Sam. So I wanted to interrupt there because that's exactly what he's doing, and that's what I caught on going, oh my goodness, he's creating macro moments for this for Generation Z that has not grown up with macro moments.
Right.
Macro culture started changing into micro cultures, right? Where it's okay, where's the macro culture moment? Where's this moment where we all can come together? Unless it's the Super Bowl or the eclipse, there's very little moments now where we have as a society the opportunity to come together socially, which is the other reason I'm doing this live show. Because every single day I create a conversation and invite the world in to join it. And people are like, Keith, why do you go live? Because I want to create community. I want to create conversation. I want to create a drop. So I love that what you're doing is you're creating a reason for people to create a macro moment. You're creating a cultural moment. Even if it's a microcultural moment, you're saying to a community here at the University of Texas or U of T, which is, okay, everybody, boom, Thursday at this time, this is what's going to happen. And then everybody talks about it. That is how you do marketing. And I'll tell you, people don't know. I'm going to tell you something. Over the next few years, because Netflix has become HBO, this idea of live event programming and macro culture is coming back again because technology is going to catch up the only reason Netflix has not done live programming is because technology has limitations on up until now, right? So up until now it was okay, download it all and then binge watch it. But we all know the money is in live. That's why sports is so valuable. We all know the money is in the drop. Getting everybody together on a Thursday to go boom, right? So I applaud you for what you're doing. Sorry, I have to fanboy over that, but
I was going to double click on that, Keith, because I believe that technology is cyclical in the same way that you're talking about macro culture live coming back. For example, Foursquare, check-in apps, those were all the rage in the early 2000s. I bet those are going to come back too, because there are little tweaks on the margins, culture shifts. And whether it's Twitch, whether it's live streaming, whether it's the ability to be able to go live on a 1080p stream like you are every day, I totally agree with you.
But again, though, I like what you're doing, though, is through the nature of your business, you're creating cultural moments, macro moments. Because society has been so used to micro moments.
Austin, which is where Claim is big. You hear about Claim from a friend or from maybe your Greek.
So there was my chat. We're going to welcome here Liz in a few moments. I want to digest this with you for a little bit. But I love what he's doing. And, Claim is one of those platforms that's I think marketers need to pay attention to. I threw something at him at the end of the show, Nicole. I was like, so how could we use our shows on the Claim platform?
Yeah.
So in other words, we talked about, creating, trading cards for Live in the Lab. People can collect trading cards from the shows. If you happen to have one of the shows where we mention a moment or mention a keyword, it could be of value to you. So you want to collect the Live in the Lab shows. So think about this too. It's appearing that the audience for Live in the Lab, is in that maybe Gen Z demographic, and Sam's creating product for Gen Z. So I said to him, hey, because he's used to working with like product companies. And I'm like, well, how could we create distribution for the show? Because here's what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning that, we do a partnership with Claim. People go and collect shows. We drop moments in the shows. If they happen to collect them and hear the moment, they can sign in and get something from us, right? So almost like old school radio, right? So
yeah, totally. Well, when we have sponsors, they could get stuff from our sponsors, right?
Exactly. And hey, we've been saying this before, Nation. Keith and Nicole are only going up in price, especially with guests like Liz Wilcox sitting waiting for us in the studio. I can see her patiently waiting for us. When we get these high quality guests like Liz Wilcox joining us, you know that we the price is only going up, Nation. So Nicole, why don't we do this? Why don't we introduce Liz Wilcox to the lab here? And why don't we do it this way?
Yeah, you found some.
Hi, friends. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good morning.
Hey. Good morning. I'm so
How are you, Liz?
good. I'm so good. Thank you for the NSYNC music. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Liz, and I'm an NSYNC addict. So I have NSYNC here. I've got all my boys right here. I'm so terrible at pointing. Have you guys mastered this yet? It's like so hard. Anyway, I love NSYNC. Super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
We are excited to be here. We're excited to have you here as well. When Nicole said that we're going to get Liz on the show, or we're going to try to get Liz on the show, we were pretty jacked about that. So I know that, you know, the reason that the hook here is really as much because you're on Survivor, and I don't want to lose sight of that. However, what I really don't want to lose sight of is like, you're like this email marketing expert that when Nicole tells, she's like, Keith, you got to check out Liz Wilcox. I'm like, all right. And I don't mean that in a kind of this smudging way, but I look and I'm like,
Right.
Oh my goodness. Like, look at the business you have built for yourself.
Thank you.
Like, so tell the nation about your email marketing business, like in a nutshell. Cause I'm not going to, so sell it.
Yeah. So, you know, that feeling you get when you watch an amazing morning show like this one, and there's some, wild woman that comes on and starts screaming at you about email marketing. And you say, you know what, I'm going to give it a try today. And then maybe you open up your ConvertKit or your Active Campaign or Flowdesk, and you think, oh gosh, maybe not. I feel kind of dumb. Well, what up? My name's Liz Wilcox, and I help eliminate that problem. I make email writing really, really simple. I think what Keith is talking about, my claim to fame, is I have a $9 a month membership with almost 5,000 people in it right now, where I write a weekly newsletter template for you to take and make your own. So to tie that in all together with a nice neat bow, if I didn't have this membership, if I had never conquered and mastered email marketing, I never would have been able to go on Survivor, because, I'm an entrepreneur. I have one employee, and, you probably know, listening and watching, that, it's hard to take time off work. Our business tends to be our life. But because I was able to grow my membership with email marketing, I was actually able to take 90 days off of work in 2023.
Dude, that is exceptional.
Thank you.
So Nation, I got to do a little bit of math here. So, I'm just from Canada. I'm a simple fellow. So, so let's just see here. So 9,000, let's see, $9,000 $9 at 45, at 5,000 members at $9. Nation, she's doing $45,000 a month in revenue.
Kind of silly.
Nicole,
Amazing.
It's exceptional. I have celebrated Shannon Houchin, the peach lady, so Liz, she takes one peach stand, sells peaches, and she's like, oh, this is pretty good. It's like an ATM. She turns it into 120 some odd peach stands, like wow. $800 million a year in peach revenue. So between your $9 a month email marketing program and Shannon Houchin's peach business, I'm telling Nation, you don't have to overcomplicate business, do you?
I love that so much. Yeah, it's just, you find something that you find simple enough, right? Like the peach stand, clearly, she's got a passion for fruit, right? Yeah. And, she must be really good at, marketing at the stand, and you just multiply it and you just do it over and over. I think that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs I don't know, it's underrated, or,
Yes.
we can't seem to do the repetition it takes. Like, you don't go to the gym and you get six-pack abs after 4 weeks. Like, it can take years, right? It takes a
Mhm.
lot of self-discipline, takes a little bit of grit, and it takes that repetition. I didn't find 4 or 5,000 people by doing 100 different things. I do the same thing over and over. And Nation, I'm here to tell you that this is my first of 3 interviews today. I'm doing, the very similar things over and over to find those customers and to, keep the success going.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Nicole, did you ask when you sat down with Liz back on Bubbles and Biz? Did you ask Liz how she arrived at the $9 price point? Because I say that, Liz, Nicole, because we all, as marketers and entrepreneurs, what should I charge? Should it be $7?
Right.
Should it be $12? Should it be $20? What was the reason for 9, Liz? Was it just magical number under 10, or was that how the economics worked for your margins? How did you arrive at 9?
Yeah, there's 2 main reasons. Number 1, I was looking at my email list. I consider myself, the email marketing lady, and my percentage of customers wasn't high enough for my liking. People were buying my tripwire. That was about $22 at the time. People were buying my trainings, but I really wanted to have a higher percentage of customers. That's my number 1 metric on my email list. I don't care about if I grow by 1,000 this month. I just care about, is that percentage of the list becoming customers getting higher. And so I thought, well, my tripwire, the sale you try to make when somebody immediately joins your email list, it just wasn't selling the way I thought it was. And I thought, well, maybe I'm getting a lot of people like me when I first started, where I didn't really have a lot of money. My spouse at the time thought I was, joining a cult. He's like, what is this online business thing? That can't be real. It must be like a scam or something, a pyramid scheme or something. And so I didn't have a lot of money to invest. So I thought about those people and I thought, maybe even $22, maybe for some people is just too much to trust me on this, especially with email marketing, where it can feel like, well, I can get faster results somewhere else. So I'm going to invest my money learning about Instagram or TikTok or, podcasting or something. Email feels like such a long-term game that it's hard to get people to invest right now. So that I figured, like Keith said, the magic number is somewhere under 10. And then, I just remembered again, Liz starting out not having any money. I grew up really, really poor. And so I wanted people to just give this a shot because email marketing changed my life. And I know with just a little help and a little encouragement, it can change your life too. So that's the $9 price tag. And that's why for over 3 years now, it's stayed $9. I still like to help those people that are new to email marketing, that are still on the fence, like, I don't know, it works for you, but maybe not me. I find that $9 is the perfect price point to say, just trust me for 30 days. We're going to get going and you're going to see some movement within the membership.
Mm-hmm. Nicole?
Awesome. No, I just love it. I love watching your journey, Liz. And like I said, the support in your Facebook group is huge. Like, it's just such a no-brainer to not invest in that. And yeah, I get pushback as well from people saying like, well, maybe email marketing might not be for me, but if it's done well and it's done personalized, like how you get your templates each week, I don't see how it can't be effective for anyone,
Yeah, listen, if you like money, email marketing is for you. I don't know how
Right?
else to put it. And if you like stable, as consistent as a business can be type of income, if you need a direct line to your customers, email marketing is it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a soundbite. If you like money, email marketing is for you.
I mean, amen. And, a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, we get into it because we want to help people and we want to make an impact. I was actually just writing this email yesterday about, I know you want to make an impact, but at the end of the day, like, you need money to make that impact. Even nonprofits, like nonprofits will dissolve if there's no money coming in, right? Nonprofits need money to drive the mission the same way you need money to drive your mission. Not everyone is going to wear like $20 bills on their, speaking of money, on their clothing. But, at the end of the day, no matter what drives you, we live in a certain economy that you need money to drive your business, to help people. And the last thing I'll say about, sales and making money with email is, a lot of people think that, community will create customers. So we spend a lot of time on TikTok, on Instagram trying to grow our community, when in reality, it is the customers that create community, because customers, number one, they invest, right? So they're invested like mentally and fiscally, right? When they invest, they take action. And when they take action, they're going to see results. So they're going to share with a friend. So when it comes to email, it's a great way to create community because it's the simplest way to create customers.
Isn't that true? And I've been seeing some discussions happening in the LinkedIn community, Liz, around the idea of email ownership and email marketing. And I'm going to remind everybody in Business Athlete Nation and LinkedIn Nation here today that we all get so caught up in the shiny object, whether LinkedIn's turning on vertical video feeds or Instagram turned on a new feature. The only database you own, Nation, is your email list. You own it. You rent everything else. So if you want to become as Liz said, if you want to make cash, you need to own your email list and you need to talk to your audience. And Nicole, I can tell you, when we send out our emails, and Liz, when we send out emails, through the lab here, we're easily over 50 some odd % open rate. And it's exceptional. People tune in, they listen. But I will tell you, Liz, I'm going to make another confession on the air. I've sucked at taking care of those customers, our listeners, in the past through email, that I know we can get better at. So I offer that to Nation, because I suspect there's many people like me that have sucked at taking care of our existing customers using email, Liz. Like, really.
Yeah, and even just the existing, listeners and readers, they're not customers yet,
Right.
but the potential is there. So when it comes to email marketing, it's the best way to show you are invested in your customers and potential customers. So email works so much differently than social media, not just because you own it. It's a more, I don't know, lack of a better term, intimate channel.
Yes.
When you get on, I don't have my phone on me, but like I pick up my phone, I pretend this is a phone. I pick up my phone and I'm scrolling, when I open up Instagram, even LinkedIn on my phone, I'm kind of mindlessly scrolling. They call it doom scrolling. It's a very passive way to engage on the internet. But when I click on my Apple Mail or my Gmail or my Outlook, I'm actively searching for a solution. It's no longer passive. I'm purposely looking. Oh, that's junk, mark as spam. Oh, that's a bill. It's on auto pay, archive, right? I'm interacting with the app so much more actively than any other social media app. So it's a great way to show that you are invested in your tribe, in your community, simply because people are actively searching for solutions within their inbox. And I want to say, to Keith's point, just really quick before I forget, because it's so important, about owning your email list. If you don't understand what that means, think back, raise your hand if you were alive in 2022 and you remember a billionaire buying a social media platform, right? And then, keep your hand raised if you were alive in 2023 and you saw that platform basically implode upon itself. That's what Keith means when he says you own your email list, right? You're renting from, the platform formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Like, we learned very recently, literally one person can own, operate, and decide what happens on that platform. With email marketing, people, Keith, Nicole, Liz, we consent to hear from you, and it goes into our inbox where I just explained we have full control.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
love that. So
I
true.
know our time is short, Liz. So I do want to tie in we got to tie in the Survivor stuff to
Yeah.
this
Oh, yeah,
conversation.
she said tribe. So I was like, tribe, Nami, go Nami.
Good segue to tribe. Liz, how would you equate your entrepreneurial business experience and growing a business and making the decisions you did with that with your experience on Survivor? Equate
So Survivor is still airing at the time of this recording, so I can't say too much. But in my business, I always say I'm a 2-step chick. If it takes 3 steps, I'm out. I hate inefficiency, waste of any kind. And when I was out on the island, it was very much the same. I kept telling myself, how can I do this in 2 steps instead of 3? Where a lot of people out there, we tend to, especially as entrepreneurs, come on, we complicate everything. Like, oh, I need this tech and that tech. And, oh, I can't start a podcast until I have a fancy mic like Keith's or Liz's, right? We tend to make so many steps. I don't know if it's perfectionism or if it's imposter syndrome described or disguised as perfectionism or what. But I'm a very efficient person. So when I got out on the island, I was asking myself, I was waking up every single day asking myself, how can I play the best I can today as efficiently as possible? And in a couple episodes ago, I think episode 4 or 5, they showed everyone on my Nami tribe searching for idols. And they showed me in the camp saying, I ain't searching for no damn idol. And the reason why I didn't search for an idol is because, again, it just didn't seem very efficient. If I lay around camp, most people are going to say, oh, Liz is fine. I can tell her if I find an idol. And you see proof of that when one of my tribe mates says, well, I'm going to look around you because I don't care if you know if I have an idol. So I don't actually have to have the idol. I just need the information, because in Survivor, information is currency. And again, to tie that back into entrepreneurship, information is currency, and you don't always have to, learn firsthand. You can learn from what other people are doing. You already know that by watching this morning show, that, you can learn from others really, really quickly without having to do the hard labor. Let us make the mistakes for you.
Yeah. Information is currency on Survivor. Information is currency in the real world. But what's really is currency is your email database that you own. That's your ultimate currency, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner. And that is what Liz Wilcox, the email survivor, can help you with. So if you are needing help with your currency, your information, your email database, your list, you got to go knock on Liz's door. Liz, how can they find you? How can they come knock on your door? How can they engage with Liz Wilcox and pay $9 a month? $9 a month, not even $100 a year. Is it $9 a month?
It's $9 a month. Yeah.
670, 9 times 12. That's
It's 108. It is a little over $100, but it's pretty good. So
for a year.
Yeah, I'm only on my second cup. Just too excited. Yeah, I failed. I failed my math. Anyways,
he's doing great. Anyway, yeah. Of course, I'm an email marketer. I'd love for you to join my list. You can go directly to lizwilcox.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a hot pink button. You can't miss it. You're going to get everything you need to get started with your email list. You'll get a welcome sequence, 3 newsletter samples from my membership, one to show you how to get people to click, another how to get people to reply, and third, and most importantly, how to get people to buy directly from your newsletter. And if that's not enough, I know writing from scratch, it totally sucks. I got you with 52 subject lines for a year full of prompts. That's lizwilcox.com, hot pink button. And if you'd rather just join the membership directly, there's a yellow bar at the top of lizwilcox.com. That'll take you right to the sales page.
Awesome.
Liz, thank you for joining myself and Nicole here first thing this morning. Live mornings in the lab here in the Business Athlete Performance Lab. Do you have a quick second to say goodbye to Nicole and us in the green room, or do you have to head out quickly right now?
Well,
yep.
Yeah.
Nicole.
And new show tonight, right, Liz?
Oh,
Doesn't
yes.
it come out on Wednesdays?
Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, CBS. Check me out.
It's
funny.
fun to watch.
It's interesting, Nicole, because I'm thinking it's I grew up with being on Thursday, so I'm forgetting that it's on tonight. So
Same.
you're right. Check
It's
it
on
out.
Wednesdays nowadays.
Check it out tonight. Liz Wilcox
Awesome.
on Survivor. All right, nation, we are going to get out of here. We are going to walk, myself and Nicole are going to walk Liz out of the lab. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm coming up here in a few hours with Mark Boer, an infantryman, specialist, terrorism expert, an all-around interesting fellow. It's going to be a great discussion today coming up noon in the lab. Come join us. Nicole, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Awesome. Let's go walk Liz out of the lab here, everybody. Nicole, hang tight. All right, we're going to do this. Boop.